Good morning, morning, morning. It says we are live. I don't know. Give me a 5x5 if we are live and you can hear me. It gave me an error just a minute ago, and I don't know if it's working or not. But good morning. Welcome to Clickbait and Coffee. I'm making a quick note. All right. Thank you, Michael. I don't know. Sometimes Facebook does some stuff weird. I'm using StreamYard, and it gave me a fit last night trying to set this up. I had to do it 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, I don't know if it's working or not. But all right, good deal. It is working. So we were on last night. If you saw, Shelly and I were on. Jay with Prepared Citizens was supposed to be on. He had a little emergency he had to take care of. So I guess everything is good with him because he did do his morning show this morning. Good morning, Greg Skeens. Greg, what are you working on this morning? All right. I know we had talked about it and everything and said, hey, if we do Tuesday, we'll do like a Tuesday, do a talk, something we can learn about, some kind of topic, something like that. Friday, cover the news. Uh, Honestly, I get kind of bored doing the news. There's all kinds of crap going on. A lot of it we can't really do anything about. So I mean, Iran, Israel, all that crap. They're supposed to have a ceasefire, but then they keep shooting rockets. So really, will that thing last? But honestly, I think what I'm going to do from now on each day is just pick a topic and talk about it. So if y'all are good with doing topics and just hitting the news real quick and then doing mainly topics on it, tell me in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you're good on just doing topics. I would rather give y'all something of value. If you're going to spend an hour of your morning with me, I'll give you something of value. So stick a thumbs up in there if you just want to learn some stuff and kind of skim over the news a little bit. But we're going to cover water storage today. The thing is, it's hot outside. Uh, I mean, we're drinking a lot of water. I know I'm drinking a bunch of water, especially when I'm doing stuff outside. So we're going to cover water. So if you've got questions about water storage, go ahead and put those in the chat. We'll get answering those. And but later on, we're going to hit water. I made a bunch of notes on water stuff. I've got a ton of water storage here, multiple different places that we store water, multiple different buildings we're catching it off of. So I figured that would be something nice. Essentially, since we're in summer and in Kentucky, it's probably going to start getting drier. Uh, Drier as everything goes on, you got to think about your water storage for people and animals. So, oh, all right. Didn't move the animals this morning. The animals decided the other day they did not want to go. They did not want to go across into the neighbor's field the other day. Sunday morning, I was like, I'm not going to fight with you. I was out there for 30 minutes messing with them. And I'm like, fine, if y'all want to stay in this pasture and eat it for a while, I'll let you. I closed the gate back up. I've let them stay in there. And I'm like, I'm not going to mess with them. So the last couple of days, I hadn't had to move animals. I'm letting them eat where they're at. That pasture's grown up pretty good. I probably need to go in there and cut some of the weeds out because I know they won't eat some of it. So they're over there. So that saves me 20 minutes a morning right now. But guys, festival tickets, we've had some problems with the tracking with the inventory on tickets. Good morning, Michael. We've had some problems with that. It said out of stock. I went and fixed it last night, so we should never be out of stock and stuff like that. So you've got today is what is today? Today's the 24th. So we've got 6 more days to get your tickets for the festival to be entered in to get the last refuge of the golden. I'm calling it the golden ticket. To get registered to win the golden ticket, the last spot in the refuge medical class. So get your tickets if you hadn't already done that. And, and then you'll get a spot in that refuge class because the refuge class is sold out. I had several people email me yesterday and they're like, hey, are there any spots left for the refuge class? And I'm like, it's sold out. I was like, you might be able to call refuge and talk to them. And if enough people call, they might put in an afternoon class, but I don't know if they will or not. Good morning, Nathaniel. Glad to have you here. So the refuge class is sold out. Hey, Melanie. Melanie, it's hot in Indiana. Yes, the weather is going to be hot. It was hot yesterday. I think it was about 95 yesterday, and I hadn't checked the weather today. Let's see. All right, today it's going to be 93. So not horrible, but not super fun either way. So I'm going to be inside today. We're got the plumbers coming over a little bit after 9. We've got a freestanding tub we're going to put in, and a couple other little things on that. And thank goodness this is not a cast iron freestanding tub. It is a fiberglass, or I don't know, a resin tub. So it's a 2-piece tub. The thing only weighs like 120 pounds. So we moved some of those cast iron freestanding tubs in, and they are an absolute nightmare to get where you're going because they're like 400 pounds. Good morning, Scanes girl. Yes, why come nobody smashed the thumbs up button? Scanes girl's got it. Give a thumbs up. Give the like. It'll tell everybody to suppress us a little bit and not show that we're on. So, but yes, weather, it's going to be hot for a few more days. It showed later on this week it's going to get down in the mid 80s here in Bowling Green, which that's fine. I'm cool with that. The stinking yard needs to be mowed again. I absolutely hate mowing the yard. Also, on the website, I did get comfrey cuttings and crowns are on the website. We've got those all ready to go, ready to ship out. So if you need some comfrey root cuttings or some crowns, let me know and we can get those out to you real quick. Also, OSHA kits. I've got my personal OSHA kit. We shipped 2 of those out the other day, but this is my kit. I ordered it for me, and I'm going to put that OSHA kit. I did not put it together last night. I ran out of time. I had to do some other stuff. But probably this afternoon I'll put that kit together for me. But that it comes in a Condition 1 case. The Condition 1 cases are made in Texas, American-made kits. I like them. They've got a lid organizer in it, everything to put essentials in there. So if you need an OSHA kit, let us know about it. Any of the other stuff is on the website ready to ship out. The only things I do not have in stock is red IFACs. So I've got to order some more of those. But everything else is in stock, ready to go. I've got to sit down sometime today with Condition 1 and get our websites linked up because we are a Condition 1 dealer now. So we're going to start selling all the Condition 1 cases. I've got, looking here down in my office, I've got 6 Condition 1 cases. So I like those. I actually like them a little bit better than the Pelicans. And they're honestly a little bit cheaper than the Pelicans too. So, and Nathaniel says, yep, heat advisory in effect for this week in Bowling Green and the heat index up to 106. So it's not going to be a fun day to be outside. And I'm just glad my time will be limited outside today unless I get done early and decide to come back and do some stuff on the homestead. Good morning, Bill. How are you? So I'll say it one more time. We're going to cover water storage here in just a few minutes on the episode. If you've got any questions about water storage, stick them in the comments and we'll answer those. So do that. Also, consultations. If you need a consultation for your homestead, your farm, just your house, let me know. Get a hold of me. We can get you pricing on the consultations. I'll come out to cover all different aspects, everything from food and water storage, water catchment, security, communications, anything like that, your medical stuff. We can handle doing a consultation on all those different things. Animals, if you're wanting to get animals, if you don't have anything, we can help you get systems set up for that. So if you're interested in a consultation, hit me up and we can get you some pricing and stuff like that on it. So also, my coffee sponsor, I'm still waiting on my coffee. So hopefully it will be in here in a couple days. So I can get my coffee and start trying it out. I am excited about that. So we got that coming up. And then June 26th, that will be Thursday. We're going to have Dayton on. He is Ballistic Mischief on YouTube and Instagram. Dayton's a younger guy, super nice guy. I've talked to him several times on the phone. He's going to be doing lock picking and escape or restraint escape and evasion. So he's going to be at the festival. I'm super excited about that. He's going to be on Thursday with us. And then the 30th, William Bond, the permaculture consultant, is going to be on with us. So, I mean, we've got some awesome speakers and workshop people coming up that we're going to do some lives with. So be looking for that. Also, tying into that, it's Mike Adkins. He is a former special ops guy, and he's going to be doing land navigation. He'll be doing land navigation workshop at the festival. He's going to be on, he's going to be on the 3rd of July. But Mike has got a book, The Edge of the Precipice. That's a hard word to say. But it's Edge of the Precipice. You can look on Amazon, just search for that. And it seems like a super good book. He's going to be on later on. So I went ahead and ordered his book. I was like, I want to start reading this book and not look like a dummy so we can talk about his book. That book is going to be here tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I'm going to start reading on it. It's been a long time since I read any kind of prepper fiction and stuff like that. And I'm probably going to start getting back into that. So, Nathaniel, have you ever used any Canva provisions like their personal water decon kit? No, Nathaniel, I have not used that before. I've seen it. I've got, and before, we're actually finalizing the deal with Pure Bag water filters. We're going to start carrying them. I'm working on a video with Pure Bag water filters. You can check those guys out. We'll have them on the website pretty soon. They make, and I've got them down here somewhere. They essentially make a bag water filter that you can fill up and use a flocculant and use a flocculant for that. And I'll go into more detail, but you can check out Pure Bag water filters. I've got one of those for my personal use, and then also that I'm using in the video. But I've not used the Canva provisions. I've got a big Berkey water filter that we use in the house, and then I've also got the Sawyer mini filters and the Life straws. So I've got those, and Pure Bag actually makes a small filter like the Sawyer or the Life straws. They make it, but those will be on the website pretty soon. We got to finalize everything with them and have a meeting. So BJR 5040, do you think the festival tickets will sell out? Honestly, we could probably have 3,000 people. The arena will seat 3,000 people, so we could probably have 3,000 people. We have not sold 3,000 tickets yet. So I don't know if they'll sell out or not. We will have tickets at the door, but I do ask if you're going to come, it is a lot easier for us if you buy tickets ahead of time so we can plan. We can plan stuff a lot better. Yes, you're welcome to buy them at the door, but it helps us out a great deal if you buy them ahead of time. So, and also BJR, if you buy tickets between now and the end of the month, you're registered to win the last spot in the refuge medical class. So go ahead and get your tickets now and get registered for that refuge class to see if you can win the last spot in it. Skanes Girl, 79 feels like 92 here in balmy northern Louisiana. They're also under a heat advisory. And Bill Warner, this morning is banana, peanut butter, and raw oatmeal for our smoothie. Yeah. Nathaniel, can't wait. Does that mean you can't wait for the refuge class? It says can't for the refuge class. But but yeah, I'm excited about the refuge class. Honestly, if I had the time, I would have gone and bought a ticket for the refuge class. But man, I tell you what, it's just, there's no way I can dedicate 4 hours to going through that. So I'm just going to wait and run over to Oklahoma when they're there and and take it in Oklahoma. That's just the only way that I can do it. Michael Hamilton, Berkey filters, are they going to sell them again here in the United States? I think that they are. I don't know for sure. There's another company. Shoot, let me see. Uh, there's another company, and I will see if I can find out what it is. I think it is. Let me see. Yes. It is freshwatersystems.com. And I'm pretty sure that they do sell ceramic filters, because I've got some of the ceramic filters that I use down in my shop for the water filtration system we've got in the shop. Because I've got a whole filtration system and everything down there. And it's freshwatersystems.com. They sell the ceramic style Berkey filters. I'm not 100% sure if they'll fit the Berkey filters, but I've got those, and it comes in one of the bigger like water filter containers, and I use a 12-volt RV pump to pump the water through it to filter it. So I'm not 100% sure if Berkey is going to be selling again or not, but I know there's some off-market things and people you can trust. Freshwater Systems, I've ordered a lot of stuff from them before, so not had a problem with that. So go check those guys out. But yeah, Nathaniel, can't wait. All right. So Nathaniel, I take it you've got a spot in the refuge class then? I hope you do. And then Melanie, yes, thank you for posting a link for the tickets. So Melanie, whatever you want to throw out, links, throw the links out for us. That also, one thing I am super excited about. Good, Nathaniel. I'm glad you got that. It's going to be a stinking good class. Bear's going to be teaching it along with Michael. So it's going to be a good class. You're going to learn a lot of stuff in that. So, but yeah. And then another thing I'm excited about is Combat Midwife. Jessica is the Combat Midwife. Her website is combatmidwife.com. Go check her stuff out. She deals, she's in the military, and she teaches a lot of the medics, the PJs, stuff like that, birthing and female stuff. As far as like birthing classes, everything like that. She does workshops and classes. So we've got her. She's going to come in and speak at the festival for a little while, talk about some of the stuff she's going to talk about in her class. But we've got her coming. It is October 25th. She's going to be in Bowling Green, Kentucky, doing a class. You can sign up at her website if you want to and get a spot in the class. I know she's going to run a special on it, and I think she might wind up running a special at the festival. So, but I know they're on sale right now, cheaper than they usually are. So go check that out. I'm excited for that. That's going to be an all-day, at least an 8-hour class of doing all that stuff. So I'm excited about that. So guys, don't forget, we're going to start talking about water storage here in just a minute. Stick your questions in about anything you've got for water storage. If you've got questions, comments, whatever you've got, stick those in the chat and we will answer those. Also, hit the like button. I don't know if anybody's hit the like button yet or not. It's not showing up on my thing. So hit that. Stick any kind of comments you got or questions about water storage in here. We're going to get that. And also that website is freshwatersystems.com. I don't get any money from them, no affiliates, anything like that. So I've just bought stuff from them and not had a problem in the past. So good morning, Mike. Our shepherds. All right. Scanes girl said, I know I did. I was the first one. All right. Well, apparently it's not showing up. Okay. Me too. All right. Well, we won't berate you on doing the thumbs up. Sometimes it shows up like in the corner of my screen. Sometimes it'll show up. Sometimes it won't. So, all right. Water storage. It's hot. It's summertime. We're pushing heat indexes of 106, stuff like that. 3 days without water is kind of the whole thing. You can go 3 days without water. It would suck to go 3 days without water. I know. I mean, I know, heck, just going several hours without drinking anything, even if you're just sitting around in the house in the air conditioning, I'm constantly kind of drinking water or tea, something like that, some kind of liquid. So they say you can go 3 days without water. I would not want to go 3 days without water. I mean, you're going to be dried up and just miserable, honestly, and super dehydrated. So the like three of my top priorities for preparedness is water, food, and shelter. And I'm going to put those right there. Water is probably your number one thing that you need to have. After that, you're going to need food. Then after that, you're going to need shelter. And then probably number four is security. Those are the top four. Just watch rain go. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, water is one of the top priority things that you need. FEMA recommends a gallon per person per day, which that would, I don't know, that would be the bare minimum if you were just honestly just sitting around. That doesn't take into account washing yourself, cooking any kind of food, something like that. A lot of guys will throw around, 3 gallons per person per day. Yes, that's good. Then if you did 3 gallons per person per day, then you're going to have a gallon to drink, a gallon to wash up, and a gallon to cook with. That's nice. If you can shoot for 3 gallons, shoot for 3 gallons. Personally, for me, I do 5 gallons per person per day. That's going to give you some kind of buffering on it, because you've also got to think about if you got to clean any dishes, anything like that. If you're flushing toilets, anything like that, that's going to take most of your toilets, I think, are 1.8 gallons per flush. So every time you flush that toilet, I mean, there goes, almost 2 gallons of water. If you're running on a septic tank, you can still use it. It's all gravity fed, as opposed to your sewer. That's a whole nother thing. If you're on sewer system, and you're worried about a grid down situation, you need to get a backflow preventer. Because the thing is, the sewers will work for a little while, but all the sewers don't work on gravity feed system. And eventually, if the power goes out, the pump stations are going to stop. All the sewage is going to back up. So you need a backflow preventer on your house if you're on a sewer system. That would be one of the top priorities I would do if I was on sewer and sewer at my house. We're on a septic tank here. The only way the septic tank is going to back up is if it gets clogged or something like that. But that goes into maintenance on your septic system. Keep your septic system maintained. So I do 5 gallons per person per day is what I'm thinking, and what I plan for. So figure out, do an audit. Kind of see how much water you drink in a day. I know everybody carries water bottles around now. Guess I'm one of the holdouts. I really don't carry a water bottle that often, but now it seems like people can't go, hell, they can't even go out to their car without taking their water bottle with them. I grew up a little bit different. We drink from the garden hose and drink from water fountains, but COVID kind of changed all that, I guess. It's like nobody can drink out of the water fountains. We have to carry our water bottle. So do an audit on there, see how much water you use per day. Just kind of keep a rough audit and be like, man, this is how much I use. Where could I cut back on this? Do I really need to take a 15-minute shower? No, if it's a grid down situation kind of thing, you're probably just going to be washing off with a washcloth and maybe rinse off every now and then in the shower, not these 30-minute steam showers where you're just hanging out in the shower kind of deal. Figure out how many adults you've got. Figure on 5 gallons per person per day. If you can swing that, that's what I like, and that's what I shoot for. Also, check your animals. I did kind of an audit, and I did it in the summertime. So because your animals are going to drink a lot more in the summertime, with it being hot for them to cool down, than they're going to drink in the wintertime. But wintertime is still important. So I figured it up. Typically, our sheep, the cow, and the donkey and the dogs are going to do in the summertime about 50 gallons a day. So I figured I need 50 gallons of water per day. I mean, that turns out to a lot of stuff, a whole lot of water. So I figured that in because I did it, typically in the summertime, I'm filling their 50-gallon water trough up every day. So when I get done here, I'm going to go make sure the water trough is topped off and they're going. So, but check on your animals and do that. So let's scroll back through here. Let me see. Skane's girl. I bought a 1,500-gallon water tank, no manhole cover to clean out. Plan is to build a tiny greenhouse over it to keep it from freezing. Any suggestions on keeping it cooler in the summer? Using 255-gallon drums for the chicken coop. Honestly, if you're going to bury that thing, it's going to stay cool. I mean, once you get so far down in the ground, that's going to stay cool. I mean, it's going to be cooler than if it's just sitting outside. So I wouldn't worry. If you're going to bury that thing, I wouldn't worry about it being cool. And it's probably, if it's buried down good, it's not going to freeze or anything. So that joker, even getting a foot or two in the ground is going to get everything cooler than just sitting out on the ground. And the big thing is you're going to keep the sun off of it. I mean, I know if you've got something sitting in the shade, it's going to be a lot cooler than if it's just sitting out in the sun. It's going to be a heck of a lot hotter just sitting there in the sun. And Bill says, if I can afford them, do you think those 1,000-gallon water catchment tanks are worth the money? Bill, honestly, it depends on how much they are. Like Michael says, the 330, they make IBC totes are 275 gallons and 325 or 330 gallon. The IBC totes, those things, food grade, make sure they're food grade. Those things used to be pretty cheap for what you're getting. I don't know. It depends on how much those 1,000 gallons are and everything. And also you got to look about if you need to move some of those things. I've got IBC totes personally, and I've got one of those 325 gallon ones that you can slide in the truck bed that'll fit around the fender wells. I've got one of those that we just use here and there if we need something. But I went the route of the IBC totes just because they were cheaper than buying new tanks and stuff like that, because some of those tanks get pretty stinking expensive. And just like Michael said, the IBC totes work great. Just make sure they're food grade and you know what was in those things. Typically, when I buy an IBC tote, I want the label on it. And typically, I don't like the people to clean them out because I like to see what was in those things. We got a bunch of them from a food processing plant, and they had molasses in them. So there's still a little bit of molasses in those things. I could look down, see that was molasses. The label on the front said molasses. I was like, these things are good to go. I don't mind cleaning that out. Essentially, I filled it up with water and put some Dawn dishwashing detergent in there, rinsed the thing out a couple times, and it was set and ready to go. And Bill says, we have 2 7-gallon containers that we keep in our safe place full of water. Yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing, and we'll get into it, kind of some of your storage stuff. That's what I was going to cover next, your storage. They make 5 and 7-gallon containers, like the Aqua Trainers. You can buy those at, I know Walmart carries those. I mean, heck, if you really want to, you can buy food-grade buckets at Lowe's or Home Depot with the lids and store water in that. I mean, 5 gallons is pretty easy to carry around. And they can stack. I wouldn't stack them over 4 high just because then you're putting too much weight on the lids. But another thing, if you're going to stack those, it always helps to put a piece of plywood or a 1x12 on top, and it just spreads the weight out for you. Let me see. Skane's girl, I was about to say, man, you were really prepared. Yeah. The 330 gallon totes are awesome. That I've got the 300 gallon, and then the 275s is what I've got. And Skane's, I'm resetting my goals. And Skane's not going to bury it, maybe halfway. I'm leasing some property, and I can't make a real impact. It'll be completely off grid. Yeah. I mean, even if you just bury it somewhat, it's going to stay a little bit cooler. The best thing is get that in the shade. So keep it in the shade as much as you can, and that's going to get it as cool as you can without burying it. I mean, no matter what, I mean, keep them in the shade. That's going to help. And Bill says they're about $1 a gallon here for the big tanks. You can get the IBC totes. I think they're going. I've seen some of them. I know I was buying some for like $35 a piece that were food grade several years ago, and I've just got, I don't know, I probably got 25 IBC totes sitting here now that I bought for dirt cheap. I think they're going for about 100 to 150 a piece. So if you look at that, that's, I mean, if you're spending $150 and they're 300 gallon, that's 50 cents a gallon. So you're probably going to be about half as much. Bill, it all depends on if you want one big tank or if you want multiple small tanks. My thing, your footprint, like if you do 1,000-gallon vertical tank, the footprint on it is not going to be near as much as having the equivalent storage of the IBC totes. So the thing you've got to look at is don't put all your eggs in one basket. I would hate to have 1,000-gallon tank and something happen and it gets a hole in it at the bottom. Then you've got to patch it somehow, or you got 1,000-gallon useless tank to where if you had 3 or 4 IBC totes, if something happens to one of the totes, you still got 2 to 3 other totes sitting there that are not a problem. So that's something to think about. The whole thing, 2 is 1, 1 is none deal. So it depends on what you want to do as far as if you want to do a bunch of smaller ones or just one massive one. I went the smaller route because the IBC totes are cheaper. And let me see. Scanes girl says, I got lucky, Bill. I got mine used for $550. Normally they're $1,700. Yeah. And yeah, Michael, you can stack the totes. I've seen a lot of people stacking them. I've not stacked any of mine because I've just got the room to do it and spread those out. And Bill, I was concerned about the footprint. Don't have a lot of space. Bill, you could stack those totes and do them that way. I don't know. I would hate to have the totes more than 2 high because, I mean, then you start getting pretty tall. I mean, I think those totes are 4 foot tall. So if you stack them 3 high, then you're 12 foot. But Bill, I don't know, 1,000-gallon tank would work out good. I would just make sure. The only thing about that 1,000-gallon tank is if something ever happened to it, then all your water storage is gone. So, and you might check the footprint on it. If it's a vertical tank, you might check the footprint of what it's going to be, and that might be the same footprint as 2 IBC totes side by side. So if you could do that, 2 IBC totes side by side and then stack 2 on top, you've got essentially 1,000 gallons of water storage with 4 tanks. And then you've got that. Skeins, I plan on buying IBC totes up there for rain catchment. I have 15, 55-gallon food grade barrels with screw-on lids and some caps. Yeah. Yeah, Bill. The totes, I've seen them. The ones that we get up here, $275 and $325. So, I mean, if you did 4 totes for the 250 gallons, then you're at 1,000 gallons right there. So you might look into that, measure the footprint, and see. But going back on the storage stuff, like the 5 to 7 gallon aqua trainers that you can pick up at Walmart or you can pick them up on Amazon. I don't even know how much the things are on Amazon. Let me see. Let's see. All right. The aqua trainers, the 7-gallon aqua trainers on Amazon are $15 right now. So you can pick some of those up. 55-gallon drums. If you're going to go up from your 5 to 7-gallon jugs, go up to 55-gallon drums. On that, make sure they're food grade. Make sure you know what was stored in them. And ideally, just like your IBC totes, it's nice if they've not cleaned those out and you can see what was in those things. I got a bunch of 55-gallon drums from over in Owensboro. There's I think it's Owensboro. There's a frozen food processing plant where they make like frozen meals, and some of it was seafood, and they use salted vodka in one of these seafood frozen meals. So these 55-gallon drums had salted vodka. I picked up a ton of those jokers, and they still had a little bit of that salted vodka in there, so you could tell what was in there. It had the label on it. So I bought a bunch of those and just rinsed the things out, and they were good to go. So 55-gallon drums. On that, get a hand pump. Get a food-grade hand pump to pump that stuff out, because typically on my 55-gallon drums, I store those standing up. And you can stack the drums if you want to. All of mine are just one level because I've got the room. And I've got some down here in the basement that are full. And you get a hand pump, and you can just pump out the water that you need. And when they're empty, roll them out and put them in your rain catchment system and fill them back up. So I advise also, if you've got rain catchment system, watch in the wintertime, because sometimes those will freeze. Have some water storage inside your house that you know it's not going to freeze. Like right now in summertime, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if all your water storage is outside, because it's not going to freeze in these temperatures. But in the wintertime, you might have some frozen barrels and totes out there. So make sure you got quite a bit of water stored inside. So another thing is the bathtub liners. I think they're called the water bobs. You can throw those in your bathtub, fill those up, and they're usually like 50 gallons, something like that, of nice, clean, potable water for you. And then stepping up from the 55-gallon drums, we've talked a bunch about the IBC totes. The big thing is make sure they're food grade. And then also the IBC totes most of those have a weird connection on them. You can go, and I forgot what the number was on that. I had it, and I bought some of those weird hookups for it. And the screws are not plumbing screws. They're some kind of weird, different thread that just do some Google foo and you can figure that out. But I forgot. If you want to save money on it, just get the darn Fernco rubber fittings, and you can do that if you're going to plumb them in with some PVC pipe. Just use that Fernco fitting and just screw it on there, because it's not under a lot of pressure. Let me see. Sorry about that. Sorry. I had somebody texting me about work. All right. Good morning, Chuck. Homestead Medical's here, and our Shepherds is here. Good morning. But yeah, the Fernco, they're the rubber fittings that have the clamp on those, the pipe clamp. Those will work just fine, because like I said, it's not under enough pressure that it's going to leak. So let me see what we've got. Skane's girl says, can't find food grade IBC totes here. They're either fertilizer or pesticide. Yeah, you don't want those things. If you look around, it takes some time. You can find those jokers. And Bill says, we have a lot of cooking oil IBC totes here. Those, I mean, if you're not worried about the cooking oil, I mean, if you're if you're not using a lot of seed oils and stuff like that, that might throw you for a little bit of a loop. But you could probably get those things clean enough that in an emergency, I would drink the water out of it. So, but just that's up to you. Let me see. My 55-gallon drum had phosphoric acid like they put in Coke. Just had to rinse and neutralize it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Let me see. They make, Skane's girl said they make liners for IBC totes. I did not know they made inside liners. I know they make the covers that you can put on there. So have to put a tank heater in the in the water cart during winter. Yeah, I've seen Shelly had to do that on her pig watering system. She had to put a tank heater in her IBC totes so they wouldn't freeze up and that the pigs could still drink out of it in the wintertime. So, all right, let me see. Yeah, and our shepherds, Mike says, we use a tank heater in the winter as well. So, and I forgot. We were going somewhere, and I forgot. Oh, I got some IBC totes. They used it for, it was they used it at a water treatment plant. It was chemicals that they had used to treat some of the water. So I called my buddy at another water treatment plant. I'm like, hey, these totes have had this chemical in it. What can I do? And can I make it safe to drink out of? And he said, let me get back with our chemist. He got with the chemist and he's like, this is what you need to do. So he told me what to do. Essentially it was a base. It was a base chemical that was there. He said, you need to use an acid to neutralize it, wash the containers out real good. So we did all that stuff, what his chemist buddy told me to do. And I said, would you drink out of this after you did all this? And he said, yeah, most certainly. He said, it's fine. So we used some of those that they were food grade, but they had, kind of a funky chemical in it. But I consulted a chemist. Everything is fine with that. Let's see. Scanes Girl, last time I checked, the liners were about $50. Still wouldn't use anything but food grade for potable water. Yeah, exactly. So I've never seen the liners. That's a new one on me. So, all right, we've covered storage. Another thing, have multiple sources. You want rainwater catchment. You want a well, creeks, streams, ponds, springs, your pool. I mean, granted, you're going to have to treat the pool water to get some of the chemicals out of it, but those are just options. We've got rainwater catchment systems. I've got a rainwater catchment system on the shop. Excuse me. All right. We've got rainwater catchment systems set up on the shop. On each side of the shop, we've got 6 IBC totes that are all daisy chained together. The gutters come down and feed those. And then on one side, it goes into the shop. And we can filter it if we need to use it in a little bathroom in there to take a shower, wash your hands, do whatever. I run it through a 10 micron pleated filter. And then I run it through the ceramic Berkey style filters there. So then that water coming off the roof after it's come through the filter is potable and safe to drink, ready to go. But I've got that on the shop. Excuse me, the plumber is texting me. All right. I got to meet the plumber a few minutes after 9. So, but yeah, Mike, we'll catch you later. Thanks for jumping in here. Have multiple sources. And what's Chuck say? Your setup at the shop is on point. Chase is copying it at his place. Yeah. I mean, that's the way to go. There's 6 IBC totes on each side. So that gives you a ton of water storage right there. But set it up. Even if you have a well, think about this. You're in a grid down situation. You've got a well. You've got to have typically 220 volts to run that well pump. So you've got to have a generator that's capable of producing 220, 240 volts. So look at that. You don't want to run that thing all the time. So another option you could have is your rainwater catchment system. And everybody's going to say, let me see, Michael Hamilton, got Lake Superior on 3 sides of us and 2 artisan wells close. That's awesome. If you got an artisan well or a spring, I would love to have a spring on my property. I really want to drill a well. We're still kind of thinking about that. I just got to get my money right before we drill a well. And I've got to decide if I really want one, honestly. So there's guys that drill wells. I've got to get some more pricing on it and see about that. Bill says, my partner that lives next door and I are looking at splitting the cost of putting a well in around here, potable water sources are only about 25 foot deep with enough gallons per minute to water a golf course. That's freaking awesome. 25 foot deep. That's not bad at all. I don't know how deep they're drilling around here. They drilled some stuff, and I've got to check with the local farmer. He drilled a well a while back, and I've got to check and see how deep they went. Chuck says, just got some IBC totes for my property. Going to do smaller setups on my buildings. I have a well. Just going to need a well pump and figure out service. Yeah. So one of the things, and this is a big thing that people fuss about, catching water. Everybody's like, you have to have a metal roof to catch your water. Yeah, metal roofs are nicer than, and you know, you're not going to get the grit and stuff like that off a shingle roof, but you can catch water off an asphalt shingle roof, and it's not going to hurt you unless it's a brand new asphalt shingle roof. Then all the carcinogens and all the petrochemicals and all that kind of crap that they've got in those roofs is going to get into the water. I think it was Texas A&M did a study several years ago, and I've had it somewhere, and I read over it in detail when I was looking at stuff about setting up a catchment system. Texas A&M did a study. They did a study on brand new roofs and older asphalt roofs, and they checked both. They found some carcinogens in the new roofs and petrochemicals in the brand new asphalt roofs, but after the roof had set several years, there was no problem with it. They couldn't find any traces of the bad chemicals that were running off the asphalt shingles. So my personal opinion on it is, if you're going to get some carcinogenic stuff in you, I would rather die of cancer in 30 years, 20 to 30 years, than dying of dehydration in 3 days. I'll take my chances on the cancer in 20 to 30 years as opposed to dying of dehydration in 3 days. So we've got systems on the back of the house. I've got 2 totes set up to water our small little garden area. I need to redo it because I had a pipe that burst this winter, but I'm going to redo it. But I have all the materials. My wife does not want IBC totes sitting all the way around the house. Down at the shop, she's like, you can do whatever you want to. I'm not worried about that. So we've got all the piping, all the stands, everything, the IBC totes sitting there. So if boom, the grid goes down, in a matter of a few hours, I can have rain catchment set up for my whole house. I did have rain catchment set up for the big chicken coop, but when I moved the chicken coop, I never set it back up. That's one thing I need to get set back up for sure. And then let me see. Bill says, so the cost of putting in a well is about $5K. And then Scanes, depending on where you are, Bill, my friend in East Texas just got one. She paid $20,000. And then Chuck at Homestead Medical, I'm doing one off an older shingle roof on one of my buildings. Use it to water the garden. I already have a double filter set up. Yeah. And honestly, Chuck, I think we've talked about this before. I'll drink the water off an old asphalt shingle roof. I mean, and no problem whatsoever about it. And Bill says, that's the cost that we found here in Jackson, Tennessee. Yeah, Scanes, tell your wife to decorate them or disguise them. Yeah, we might. She didn't put up too much of a fuss when I put 2 out on the side of the house to do the raised beds and garden area. She didn't say much, but she doesn't like it too much. So I'm just like, whatever. We've got it just like concertina wire. I've got a ton of concertina wire. It's not setting out yet, but I've got it. So if we ever need it, we can slap that stuff up. And it was funny, the concertina wire, I came home with it. I traded one of my buddies some stuff for it. And I came home with that wire, and she goes, what are you going to do with all that? And I was like, we might need it one of these days. And she looked at me and she goes, if I come home and that concertina wire is strung up in the front yard, we're going to have problems. And I looked down at her and I was like, you're damn right we're going to have problems if I got to string that wire in the front yard. And she just looked at me and she was like, no, I mean with me. And I was like, I mean with other stuff. I was like, if that wire comes out, we've got real problems. I'm not worried about you fussing about wire out in the front yard and through the driveway and stuff like that. So then she finally got it. So skeins, if you built a cover over them, you got a ready-made area for container gardening. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do it sometime. Right now, that is not a hill I'm going to die on. So, but hey, as far as okay, so you've got your water stuff set up. If you got water catchment stuff, you're going to need some way to filter it. I told you about the filter system that I've got on my shop. We're running it through a 10 micron filter, and then the ceramic Berkey filters. We're running them through there, and I'm using a 12 volt RV pump to provide the pressure to push it through those filters, and then just a 12 volt. I've just got a regular 12 volt lead acid trolling motor battery on that. I don't have a lithium on it right now, but but also you need some kind of way to filter it. I said before, pure bag water filters, we're going to start carrying those on the website. We got to finalize everything with them and get them on the website. Pure Bag is one of the filter companies that I recommend. Then also you've got Sawyer, you've got LifeStraw, Berkey. Two other ways to disinfect the water is bleach and pool shock. I think it is 8 drops per gallon for bleach. And then pool shock, you're going to have to look on the website and do some Googling for that, because I do not know that right offhand. But if you're going to store pool shock, make sure you store it in a plastic container. Do not put it in anything metal, because it will eat the snot out of that metal. So that's what I've got. I'm going to have to scoot off here in just a few minutes and meet the plumber. We're putting a tub in today on this job site. So water storage, guys, FEMA says a gallon per day. A lot of people say 3 gallons a day. My goal is 5 gallons a day per person. Also, don't forget your animals. Do an audit on how much water your animals drink every day and prepare for that. Then Bill says, that's what I'm thinking on, Skanes Girl. I'm turning my backyard into and a little bit of everything to garden space. Yeah, do as much stuff. Honestly, if my wife wouldn't get mad and if we didn't need room for my young one to run around, I would let that sheep graze the front yard and just eat it down instead of mowing it. Michael Hamilton, thank you. We will see y'all later on. Bill, thank you too. Guys, I'm going to scoot out. I'm going to go meet the plumber. Do not forget, tomorrow night, I will be on with Tactical Response on their channel. We're going to be talking about the festival and the charity auction. So, guys, if you don't have your tickets, get your tickets. If you've got any more questions, stick them down in the comments after the live is over. Put a comment in there. If you've got any more questions, do that. We'll answer them Thursday morning. And also, do me a favor, in the comments after this is over, leave a comment on something, a topic that you would like me to cover in future things, whether it be whatever. Tell me what you want, and we'll try to do that on a topic for you. But we're going to change it to where pretty much every day is a topic. We might hit on the news for 5 minutes, but I want to give y'all some value, for y'all spending an hour with me. Let me see. Skanes Girl, I have a case of pool shock. I have glass jars and plastic lids. They're still in the plastic bags, but the box they were in disintegrated. I placed them in plastic container, concerned about storage. Yeah, just keep them. You can keep them in a glass or a plastic container, and they should be fine. Keep them out of the sun, that kind of stuff. And then, Bill, the front yard is turning into an herbal garden. That sounds cool. So I've got to get some more herbs planted and stuff like that. Guys, I'm going to go meet the plumber. I will see y'all soon. I will be on Wednesday night with TAC Response. Shelly and I will be back on Thursday night with Dayton on how to pick locks and a restraint escape. And then Friday, I'll be back here at 8 o'clock. Guys, I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see you later on. Bye.